Hello and welcome to this really impromptu live because I was asked an amazing question this morning, which is what is the number one secret that you wish you'd known earlier in your journey? And I was thinking about this in relation to being a sensitive woman, and I thought about everything that I've learned over the last however long, but especially over the last 18 months. And I thought, I know what the number one secret is. I know what the one thing is I wish I'd known earlier. And I know the one thing that I think whenever I share this with women, whether that's members of my community, of my sisterhood, whether it's clients or whether it's my friends, it's like this seems to be the one thing that really does make a huge, massive difference, and is from a really kind of like, I wish I'd known that. Like it's just amazing. So I want to share this with you because I know that if you really use this and you use what I'm going to share with you, you will see and experience massive changes in your life, in your relationships, in your work, in your purpose, in your creativity, everything. Because that definitely has been my experience, and it's been an experience that I've gotten to see with other women recently as well that I've worked with, and it is so exciting. And drum roll please. The secret is, if you want to really be a sensitive superstar, if you really want to access the levels of intimacy, freedom and abundance that are yours, if you really want to have the type of relationship that you really want to be having, if you really want to be having the impact that you want to have in the world, if you really want to be showing up for yourself each and every day and therefore the other people in your life, the secret is harness the power of your cycle. Now, I have to say, like up until 18 months ago, I just thought my period is something that I get. It's a pain, like on many levels. It's a massive pain, and it's an inconvenience, and I get really grumpy, and I feel like I can't handle my shit at a certain part of the month, and I feel like, I'm the only person that this happens to. And I worked with an amazing woman called Tara Pralaki, and it absolutely changed so much of the way I saw myself and the way I understood myself and my body. And that was really tracking my cycle and understanding how my hormones work during the month, what supports me in that and what doesn't support me in that. And I absolutely loved it, and I felt like, I just felt like this sense of relief. And that's what I really get when I talk about this with members of my sisterhood and my friends. It's like, oh my god, yeah, that's me too. Like I feel like that, I just thought it was me, or I just presumed that like a week of my cycle, I was just a write-off. And the thing is that what's really empowering about knowing your cycle and understanding it, and of course your cycle is different to my cycle, is different to anybody else's, it's understanding that when you have that knowledge about your emotions and your body and what's going on for you, you can then harness that as a superpower. So you can start to understand, like at this point of my cycle, this is what I do best. My energy is really good at this part of my cycle. At this part of my cycle, just before my period and during the first days of my period, I need to rest. And here's what I see happening for a sensitive woman. It gives you permission. It gives you permission to rest. It gives you permission to go for it when your energy is at its highest in your cycle. It gives you incredible insights into what really works for you. And I've been developing a well-being warrior audit, which is where you go through every area of your well-being warrior arsenal, for want of a better phrase. And it's like your self-care, your practice, what you're eating, how you're sleeping, the quality of your sleep, what essential oils you're using, what additional supplements you're using. So I really cover all of this, and I've been doing it for myself, and it's just amazing because when you work with your cycle in this way, it's like no longer do you feel like kind of a victim of what's happening. Instead, you're empowered and you're like, oh my god, this is amazing, and it's so exciting. And that is one of the kind of really surprising things, and I'd love to hear from you, whether you are at this point, you know, maybe you're already tracking your cycle, or maybe this is quite new to you, but the more you do it and the more you understand yourself, the more exciting it becomes. And then you start to really understand yourself, and therefore when you have that level of understanding and compassion and empathy for yourself, you can really bring that to the people in your life. So as a sensitive woman, you've got this empathy and compassion, but when you're not harnessing the power of your cycle, so when you're not working with the energy, when you're not working with your hormones, when you're not supporting yourself, you will always be a little bit flat at times. You will always feel like you're running on empty at certain points of your cycle. You'll always feel like you're just really grouchy and you can't control that. But actually when you switch that and you really work with your cycle and you harness the power of it, you can therefore like explain and like bring that level of permission for yourself to just have that time, whether that's when you need to rest or when you need to really go for it. And you can tell the people in your life about that. They can get that level of understanding for you as well, because you've got it for yourself. And therefore you're then overfilling and overspilling with compassion and with love, and you will bring such a level of deepening understanding to your work, to your relationship. It will feel so much, you'll feel so much more connected in your relationships. You'll feel so much more empowered as a mum. You will absolutely be able to show up for the people in your life in the way you want to, and at the times when you don't need to show up, when you need to just rest, when you need to really dial up the self-care, you will have that level of like, yes, this is exactly what I need to do, and it will feel easeful for you. Now it does take it's a process, right? Because when you learn this and when you're learning it, and when you're in it, you still have to rewrite those old stories about just powering through at all times, and like I'm just as good as anybody else and I need to just prove that. So that's really just, you're really dissipating those stories, you're really letting them go. So that does take time, but I absolutely promise you, if you use this secret and if you apply this, and if you already are, if you just go deeper with it and just really bring it to like the forefront of your awareness and your priorities, I know you're going to feel a massive shift in all areas of your life. So I would love to hear from you if you've got any questions about this, how you're finding it, how you want to take some action with it, and I will see you very soon. Lots of love. Bye.